Hey there everyone, it's Jenn, the Board Game Librarian, and today I'm going to do a quick review, preview, and impressions of Chai Tea for Two. In Chai Tea for Two, you are looking to grow your tea and fill the most ships in a short game, 3 ships, and to get the most points. Along the way, you are going to be gathering crates from cards where you can store extra tea leaves and some very fancy tea as well. But I kind of want to talk a little about the things that are here in Chai Tea for Two. And I don't ever trust myself when I'm doing a rules explanation. There's lots of other folk out there who do really great how to plays. So if you've come here for that, I'm sorry, that's not me. I find there's lots of other great people out there. Matt and I have not played Big Chai, and although it's one that we have been interested in for a while, and we missed the Kickstarter on it, and our timing with Kickstarters is always never good in terms of like we're already backing something else, or funds are low, or whatever. But we had seen how gorgeous Chai was, and I loved the theme. And if you follow me for a long enough time, you know that themes that are very unique and different and real are themes that interest me a lot. We have tons and tons of fantasy games, tons and tons of space, IP games, but to have something like this, I think, is amazing. And I'll get into that pretty quickly. So even when you open the rulebook, Chai Tea for Two, there is a little comic strip, and this is maybe one of the most darling things I have seen all year. It's a mother who is pouring some tea for her 2 children, and she talks about kind of where the process of tea leaves are plucked from the fields, then withered to remove moisture. Tea workers are rolling tea leaves between their hands, others fixed under high heat. Then we like to make tea crates and cakes. Oh, the ships are getting ready for the great tea race. Doorbell rings, and a ship, the HMS Chai, and she says, as we enjoy our tea, so do people around the world. This is adorable. So the attention to detail in this game is quite spectacular. And as I was flipping through too, there's a history section in here as well about the great tea races, the discovery of tea, the Opium Wars, and just the Boston Tea Party. So this is clearly a passion project for Dan and Connie, the designers of the game, that they love tea, that they are committed to giving you the best possible product game as they can. And I think when people know their material too, you get these fun little touches like this. So this amazing rulebook with this amazing artwork by artist Andrew Bosley, known for Everdell. Just right here, first impressions from you open the rulebook, top notch. When I had opened the game for an unboxing, some of the things that initial impressions were like, holy smokes, look at these little tea chests right here, which are color-coded, and for the colorblind, they do have the symbols of the tea leaves on here too. So yes, this game is colorblind friendly, which I love. I would love to see more companies take on this challenge and do that as well. But, each individual little case here has all the tea leaves in it. And they're contained. Don't have to worry about game trays. They're not plastic, and adorable. And everything fits in there. Of course, now I'm not going to be able to close this. Another thing that struck me too when we opened it was the dice trays that are in here already. For player 1 and player 2. The fact that there was a pink one, I think I nearly lost it because pink's my favorite color, and there's never enough pink in games. But pink is also colorblind friendly for some folk too, which is great, and it fit in their color scheme. So the quality of these right here is amazing. As you open the game as well, there's your dice. Excellent, wonderful quality, bright, vibrant dice that are in here. Your cards, you're going to be using as you are going along with your dice placement and picking up cards, and a variety of boards as well. And your main board that you're going to be doing a lot of your work on is right here. And very well laid out, very well delineated. So in the game, the basic premise is that you are taking turns. The first player picks how many tea leaves you can choose, whether it be 4 black, like this one, for example. Here, you could pick up a black tea leaf or a green tea leaf, or you can do 5 movement of your tea leaves up the grid here. And then you roll your dice, and then there's a variety of locations on these boards here that you can move along. And a lot of the game is going to come in from your card play that you were going to want to do. That's some of the set collection I talked about earlier, where you're going to get the crates that you're going to be able to put off the side here, along on the bottom as well. But your card placement on this is very important too. There's cards where you are able to move all of the purples in that row up, but once you've used that card, you flip it over, and there's a space on the board where you can flip it back. But where you place it and how you place it, because this space is very different from this space, from this space, from this space. So a lot of strategy in that, I would say. There's the set collection in terms of the different varieties of teas that you can get. If you've played set collection games before, the more that you have, the more points that you're likely to get. The heart of the game, though, is moving the tea leaves up from one section to another section, to another section, to another section, to another section, then off into ships, which are going to be in these 3 places right here. And you're going to gain your ships from places on the board where you're going to put your dice down, and then you obtain those ships. The bulk of your points are going to come from that. In a short game, like I said, it is 3 ships, and in a long game, let me verify that. There's a short game they call 3 ships a galley, 25 minutes. 4 ships, square meal, again, cleverness, 35 minutes, and 5 ships, a hardtack, is 45 minutes. So you can vary the game in terms of how much time you have, and I would say that the games that we had played were very spot on in terms of time. But yes, you were going to gain the bulk of your points from these places here. And you could, in theory, in a short game, have more than 4 ships that you are able to fill in. I think I had done that in one of our games. So it's possible. So you're going along, you are placing down your dice, and it's dice placement, so the pip number of the dice that you put down has to match the area that you are placing it, or certain things have to happen. You have to have 3 5s to put down, or something like that. So the game kind of goes along like this, and in terms of the flow, until you run out of dice, turn passes to the next player, and then you keep going, and the game ends after the appropriate amount of ships. So I've talked quite a bit about the impressions of the components. I've heard some people say that, and I'll show you the inside of the box too, some companies can't even put on the back of the board anything, nothing, and they put something on the inside of the box. So gameplay, I thought, was very smooth. This is Connie and Dan's second game, and you would think it's their 22nd game. I really love that this is a husband and wife team that are working together on a game that is their passion. You can clearly tell that in everything that is on here. But it's smooth. This game was very smooth. Ran very quickly too. I think once you kind of knew what you were doing, what you wanted to do, there was some back and forth. What I love about 2-player games in particular, and yes, you can do a solo experience on this, is that two-player games that are designed to be 2 players have a lot of the interactivity that some 2 to 4s maybe don't have sometimes. That you are directly competing with the person across from you, and you get that experience here. Again, I can't compare it to its big sister, big brother, but I really liked Chai Tea for Two. I had commented to someone online that this was maybe one of the best preview games I've ever gotten, and I've gotten some that are okay that just weren't for us, but this is one that Matt has said to me was a keeper. And again, out of, I'll say 10 preview games, and that's incorrect, we've maybe looked at each other and said that we would keep 2 or 3. It's a very small percentage, and I'm underestimating that 10. So why would you want to back Chai Tea for Two? There's a lot of stuff on Kickstarter right now. The price point I think is very good on that. I'll try to put it right here as I'm editing it, but the price point is very realistic for what you're getting. You're getting so much stuff, great quality stuff, and you are supporting a small local business, which is essentially what this is. And you're supporting a husband and wife team too. And I've said that a couple of times, but I do think that that's important, that they are working together on it and that there is a female designer. That is extremely important in our industry right now, and we need more situations like that where we are encouraging our female designers to design more things. I think as well too, if you are a fan of the theme, this is really going to speak to you. Gameplay was not hard at all. It was maybe in the BGG weight 2-ish, not anything more than like 2.5. You're still making very strategic decisions, but you're not like a Lacerda game where your brain is just going, it's just melting, melting. Artwork and graphic design were very well done. Again, artwork was Andrew Bosley, Sahana Vijay, and Mary Hasdike. The rulebook was not written by the designers, which Matt and I should do a video on. Rulebooks written by designers are sometimes a hot mess, and this was very well done. And we really liked it. We really liked it a lot. This is a keeper. This is a keeper, folks. I like having a positive video every once in a while. So if you have any questions about Chai Tea for Two, drop them in the comments below. Let me know if you've played the original Chai. I'd be curious what you think, if you end up backing this, and how you feel about the two. And as always, I'll catch you next time.